We are at day 16 of our December marathon, and we're kicking this one off with the breakout stars of 2026. Now, we're including wrestlers from all over the place: WWE, AEW, indie people, whatever it may be. We just picked the top 10 people that we think are going to be projected to be very highly sought after in 2026. Yeah, and we're going to kick this one off with someone who just won the Iron Survivor match, and that is going to be Kendal Gray. Now, obviously, she is someone who, she's been in NXT for quite some time. She's done Evolve, she's done Level Up, she's done a lot of different things involved in NXT. She's just now finally starting to get seen by like the actual main kind of NXT people. She's getting put in these big matches and these big scenarios. This is obviously coming off of a huge win from the Iron Survivor Challenge. So Kendal Gray is going to be someone who's definitely someone to look to keep an eye out for in 2026.
Yeah, I mean, everything I have seen from her, it tells me that she has everything to be one of the best stars, not only in NXT but in WWE completely. I think in the next 2 years, I think she's somebody who will definitely be at the top of the game. She's somebody who, when you watch her matches, she's doing everything almost too good, it feels like, for somebody who's pretty new to wrestling, I think. So yeah, Kendal Gray, I think being able to win this Iron Survivor says a lot about what she'll be doing in 2026, now having an opportunity to win the World Championship at the start of the year. So yeah, I think she's in for a huge year.
Yeah, and someone who just came up to the main roster and is also having a very good year that's going to be Lash Legend. Now, she had some unfortunate things happen earlier this year where our tag team partner, Mara Sade, or Jakara Jackson, as you may know her, she did unfortunately get released, and Noam Dar, part of her group as well. He'd been kind of on and off injured throughout the entire year, so she's been solo throughout this entire year. So they decided to finally send her up to the main roster and put her in with the big dogs, and she's been doing a lot of very good stuff there. Just came off of a very good War Games match, and she's teamed up with Nia Jax currently. But I think the world is hers when she kind of finally moves up and she's getting singles matches, going after titles, because Lash Legend is a monster to be seen.
Yeah, I mean, being on SmackDown, I think, is setting up for her for great success, potentially. She has the opportunity to go after that World Champion with matches like her and Jade, I think. Something that will be a huge marquee match for WWE to do. But also a match that you could do is for her for the United States Champion. I think that would be a perfect start for her to kind of kick off the year once you do start her solo run. But even if you keep her in the tag team division, I think it's not even a bad call. Her and Nash would be, or her and Nia will be a very dominant team in the tag team division. It'll be a very hard team to beat. So yeah, I think her stocks this year can go very up. Yeah, I think she's in for some type of gold this year, I think.
Yeah, and we're going to kick it off with some TNA talent at this point. That's going to be Maggie Lee, or M by Elegance, depending on which side of her you get, the indie version of her or the TNA version of her. But she's doing a lot of really good stuff. She obviously got picked up by the Elegance girls, Ash by Elegance and Heather by Elegance, and they've been doing really good stuff. Obviously, the stuff happened with Ash that kind of sent her back, and she's retired, or at least not wrestling at the current moment. So she's been a part of this tag team with Heather, doing a lot of good stuff. She's had world title matches where she unfortunately did lose them, but she's had really good matches on the indies. She's also known for having really good matches as well. She's someone to look forward to for a very long time. Very young, very tall and strong and athletic, and she kind of do it all in the ring.
Yeah, I think this upcoming year with TNA now having a TV deal, I think is going to set up some big changes in the TNA landscape. I think you'll see a lot more definition among the divisions. I think you'll have a defined women's tag team division as long with the singles division. I think she's somebody that can fall in either and have good success. She's somebody who I'm not too familiar with, but you have shown me a lot of clips from her, and yeah, everything I see from her has been pretty good. She's somebody who I think could be some type of champion. I don't know where that lies for her, whether that be a world champion or the Knockouts champions, but I think she is somebody who will be a common face on TNA for the next couple years, as long as they continue to sign her and keep her around. So yeah, I think she's somebody who has success run all over.
Yeah, and we're going back to NXT with Tavion Heights, someone who's done a lot of really good stuff, someone who's really been on the rise for a very long time, where it seems to be kind of start-stop with him, where they seem to start to give him a little bit of something to gain some momentum, but then he kind of gets put back on the shelf for a little bit. But it seems like right now is the most they've used him, the most he's being seen on TV, and it seems like 2026 will be a very good year for him, where I really do expect him to pick up some kind of singles gold.
Yeah, Tavion Heights, I think, again, is somebody who has all the tools in the shed to be a great performer in WWE and NXT. Now with a lot of the big names probably going up this upcoming year, with like Oba Femi, Ricky Saints rather, Javon Evans could potentially go up, Trick Williams will probably go up, Ethan Page. So yeah, there's a lot of guys who might be going up, so that leaves a lot of room for new upcomers. And I think Tavion Heights is a perfect guy to do that. He's somebody, like I said, has the potential in the ring, on the mic. So yeah, I think he's somebody who will definitely have a big year.
Yeah, and we talked about this person briefly just a minute ago, but we're talking about Mara Sade, now in TNA, formerly known as Jakara Jackson in NXT. But yeah, we talked about her and her group with Lash Legend and Noam Dar. Unfortunately, it didn't work out. She got released. All that happened, but she's doing good stuff in TNA, and I think she'll be a name to look out for once again in TNA. She's someone who hasn't really done a whole lot yet, so I think they're kind of shelving her for a little bit and kind of prepping her to get ready for when they sign these new people after their TV deal, and they're able to kind of put her on TV in front of a big showcase match. I think that's whenever they'll use Mara Sade and the best of her.
Yeah, she's somebody who, like you said, hasn't done so much in TNA just yet, but I do think she's somebody, whether she turns heel and that's how you kind of get things going for her, I think the women's roster definitely needs somebody like a Sade who can kind of change things up. She's somebody who is still very young, so could be a long-term signing for TNA and could be, one of the best signings they could have in, the future. So, yeah, I think she's somebody who will have a very big year.
Yeah, and we're going to kick things off with our first AEW person, and that is going to be Alex Windsor, someone who recently just got signed, so hasn't really done a whole lot in AEW. Had a couple of tag team matches, a little bit of singles action here and there on Collision, but I think we'll be seeing a whole lot more of her starting 2026.
Yeah, with how AEW has kind of treated the women's division, you have a lot of women who kind of go into that a world title match and then kind of fall back down, but she's somebody who I think could have some type of title match this upcoming year and probably win some type of gold. I think the AEW division needs a little bit more of a definition of what the women's division kind of is right now. It's kind of all over the place. So yeah, I think she's somebody who could be a great TBS champion eventually when Mercedes loses that belt, whether that is to Alex or somebody else. Yeah, I think she's somebody who has been great since signing with AEW in all her matches. So yeah, I think she's somebody who can definitely be up on the upper end of the women's division.
Yeah, even a tag team with a Jamie Hayter or something like that could be a very interesting team to see. We have very good stuff from Alex Windsor, and I have a lot of high hopes for her in 2026. And another person in AEW who I have a lot of high hopes for, who hasn't been used a whole lot either, is going to be Ace Austin, a former TNA talent who came over to AEW, and he's someone who, we got to watch a live TNA show last year, somewhat around this time maybe, and that's where I first got to see Ace Austin and a lot of the TNA people who are currently there, and Ace Austin was amazing. He was one of the first people that kind of stood out to me, came out with the Hardys, which made me like, who is this guy? Who's this guy who's coming out with the Hardys? He is not a Hardy boy. Is there a third brother in here somewhere? But no, it was Ace Austin, and unfortunately his teammate Chris Bay at the time was hurt and injured, so we couldn't do the tag team match with him, so we got to see a 6-man tag match with the Hardys instead. And I was a fan of him ever since then, and yeah, I'm very excited to see his future in AEW.
Yeah, I think the unfortunate thing for Ace Austin was joining the Bang Bang Gang, obviously continuing Bullet Club that he was in TNA with Chris Bay, part of ABC, but now with Bang Bang Gang. I think it does suck that Jay White kind of got injured and kind of set things to the side. Pretty much you have some type of injury always going on in the Bang Bang Gang right now. So yeah, I think once we get to full health of the group, we'll have some type of story going on where he can eventually take over Jay White's spot. I think him and Jay White can have some amazing matches with each other. I think that'll be a great feud to have. Or whenever he does lead that group, if that is the case, I think he would be a great addition to the singles division. Have matches with Speedball, Mike Bailey, Kevin Knight. That division I think could be really strong. And yeah, he's somebody who I think can have some very, very big matches next year.
Yeah, and this time we're going to go on to Ring of Honor with Lee Moriarty, someone who's very well established, just came off a very big match with Nigel McGuinness in Ring of Honor Final Battle, I believe it was. So very good stuff from him this entire year. It's kind of progressively built up to the point where it's like, all right, he needs to get his ass on Dynamite immediately.
Yeah, he is somebody who I've really taken a liking to over the past few months, really. I think he's somebody who has all the talent to be a world champion in most companies. However, in AEW, it's obviously very top-heavy, so to get to that point is going to be very hard for him. But, yeah, he's somebody who I think could be a great addition to the mid-card roster. He has some great matches with a lot of the guys. Like I mentioned, Ace Austin could be a great match. Speedball, Kevin Knight, Mark Briscoe, Kyle Fletcher. There's a lot of matches you can do for Leo Moriarty. He's somebody who I think could add great depth to that roster. So yeah, I think he's somebody who deserves a spot and to be seen more frequently on AEW.
And another great match for Lee Moriarty is going to be the next person on our list, and that is going to be Nick Wayne, someone who's had amazing matches pretty much throughout his entire career, even throughout his indie time where he was doing stuff there. He came over to AEW and things kind of slowed down, then it picks up, then it slows down. He's kind of all over the place, but I do think he's due for a very, very big time, and kind of, I don't know exactly what I would do with him, what division I'd put him, if I'd put him in a tag team division, if I'd put him in the singles division, let him do some tournament things. I'm not exactly sure what I'd want from him, but I do think he'll have a big 2026.
Yeah, Nick Wayne is somebody who AEW, I think, obviously sees the talent and what the potential he brings to the company. However, it feels like just the time hasn't been right for him just yet. Being able to team up with Christian for quite a while, so I think that kind of says a lot about what they think about him. So yeah, I think eventually, whether that is this year, hopefully it is finally that time to say Nick Wayne can win some type of real gold in AEW. So yeah, I think he is set up for a big year as long as health continues to be on his side. So yeah, I think Nick Wayne could be a guy who steals the spotlight like a Kyle Fletcher.
Yeah, and somebody who at least somewhat went over from WWE to the AEW side of things, we have Zeta Still, someone who was a WWE ID prospect. She went through the tournament. She unfortunately did lose the tournament, but after that she didn't re-sign with WWE, and then she did end up in Ring of Honor, where I don't believe she's officially signed yet, but I mean things are looking very good for her in terms of being signed to Ring of Honor.
Yeah, I mean, if you have the eyes of Marigold, WWE, AEW, Ring of Honor, if you have all those brands going after you, it says a lot about how good you truly are. And she's somebody who I think has all the talent in the world to be a future big star in the business. And yeah, I think AEW and Ring of Honor could treat her very well. It's somebody that I think, like I said earlier, with the AEW women's division, they need some more depth. And I think Zeta Still, whether she does go to AEW or stays in Ring of Honor, she would be a great champion in Ring of Honor. She could be have matches with Red Velvet. I think could be pretty solid. So yeah, Zeta's still definitely somebody who has the attention of a lot of the big companies, and yeah, I think she eventually will get the attention of the fans.
Yeah, I think she will be the new women's face of Ring of Honor once, we finally get Athena officially out of there, and Billy Starks is out of there, and Red Velvet is out of there. I think Zeta Still is going to be the future of Ring of Honor, assuming they lock her down and put her on the contract.
Yeah, I think this upcoming year, whether it's these people that we listed today or some different people that, who knows who can be the next breakout star. I think a lot of people didn't predict, it's always hard to predict who is the next person to get called up and to have some of these big opportunities. But yeah, I think a lot of these people have that potential to do that.
Yeah, we had a very great list here with Kendal Gray, Lash Legend, Maggie Lee, Tavion Heights, Mara Sade, Alex Windsor, Ace Austin, Lee Moriarty, Nick Wayne, and Zeta Still. So if there's someone that we missed out on that you think should be on this list, let us know in the comments. And yeah, we're going to catch you guys in tomorrow's video.